Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. A man, he may not always open his mouth and say what's on his heart. See, we as men, we struggle sometimes with words. We don't walk around confessing love like it's a grocery list. No. What we do is show you. And if you're paying attention, you'll know when you've become his weakness, when you've got that man in a way no one else ever has. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're trying to figure out a man is waiting on words. You're waiting on him to say something, to confess something, to lay it out in a perfect speech like a movie script. But real life ain't no romantic comedy, and men, well, we don't always talk that way. See, some of us were raised in households where our fathers never said, "I love you." Some of us grew up believing that emotions made us weak. So now, as grown men, when we fall for somebody, when we truly care, the words don't always come easy. But hear me when I tell you this, just because he ain't saying it doesn't mean he ain't showing it. A man's love, the real kind, it's louder in his actions than in his words. You want to know how to tell if a man really loves you. Stop staring at his lips. Start looking at his life. What does he do? How does he move when you walk in the room? What sacrifices does he make without announcing them? See, women often want the big declaration, the poetry, the constant reassurance. And I get it, because you deserve that. But don't miss what's right in front of your eyes. Men are builders by nature. We're fixers, we're protectors, we're providers. That's our love language, even when we don't know how to put it into words. Let me break this down for you. If a man really loves you, he'll rearrange his time. Time is the most valuable thing a man has, and trust me, he doesn't just give it away. If you find that man making space for you, canceling plans, showing up, even when he's tired, carving out time just to sit next to you, don't overlook that. That's love speaking loud. He didn't say, "I love you." But what he did say, without his mouth, is, "You matter more than anything else on my schedule." And look at protection. I'm not just talking about physical protection. I'm talking about emotional, spiritual, mental. When a man loves you, he watches over you like a treasure. He'll notice when something is off in your tone. He'll stand up for you when you're not even in the room. He'll make decisions with your well-being in mind. That's love in action. He doesn't need to write it in a card. You can see it in how he shields you from unnecessary pain. Now let's talk about attention. This one right here is huge because men, we're not naturally great listeners. Let's just be honest. We're problem solvers. We want to jump to the fix. We want to get to the point. But when a man really loves you, he slows down enough to hear you. He remembers what you said in passing weeks ago. He knows the name of your favorite childhood snack, the way you like your coffee, the songs that remind you of your mom. He didn't pick that up by accident. He collected it like gold because your words mean something to him. He might not say, "Baby, I love you every day," but when he shows up with that thing you casually mentioned once, that's him screaming love with his actions. See, words are easy. Anybody can say them. Actions, that's commitment. A man can say, "I love you," and not mean a lick of it. But a man cannot consistently show up, cannot consistently invest, cannot consistently protect and provide without his heart being in it. Actions cost something. They cost time, they cost energy, they cost pride, they cost sacrifice. When a man is willing to pay that price for you, that's the kind of love you better not overlook. Think about it like this. If you drop a glass on the floor, it shatters. Now I can stand there and say, I'm sorry, 100 times, or I can get down, sweep up the glass, protect your feet, and buy a brand new one. Which one shows you I care? Words or actions? Love works the same way. Don't let the absence of a sentence make you blind to the presence of sacrifice. Now, I know some of you ladies are sitting here saying, "Steve, I need him to say it. I need the words. I can't live on actions alone." And I hear you. Communication is important. Words matter. But what I'm telling you is, don't judge a man's heart solely by what he says with his mouth. Judge it by what he invests with his life. Because if his words and his actions don't line up, it's the actions that tell the truth. If a man says, "I love you," but he doesn't respect your time, doesn't treat you with kindness, doesn't stand up for you, doesn't show up when you need him, those words are empty. But if he's out here making sure you're safe, if he's showing up when you call, if he's changing habits for you, if he's listening to your needs, if he's trying, baby, that's love. You can trust that over any flowery speech. Another thing about a man's love is this: he'll bring you into his peace. That's a man's most guarded place. We protect our peace because the world takes a lot out of us. We go to work. We fight battles. We carry burdens. When a man loves you, you'll notice he lets you into his quiet. He wants you around even when he doesn't want anyone else. He doesn't need to be talking, doesn't need to be entertaining you. He just needs your presence because it calms him. He may never sit you down and say, "Baby, you are my sanctuary." But the way he relaxes when you walk in the room, the way his shoulders drop, the way he sighs like he's home, that's his heart talking louder than words. And ladies, please understand this. Men are not complicated, but we are different. We are not raised to talk about our feelings. We don't gather with our boys to discuss how in love we are. We don't pull out journals and pour our hearts on a paper every night. We're taught to move, to build, to provide, to show. That's how we've been wired. So when you're waiting on a man to pour out poetry, you might miss the blueprint he's laying with his life. His blueprint says, "I'm here. I've got you. I'm not going anywhere." Think about the man who works 2 jobs and still shows up with groceries so you don't have to stress. Think about the man who fixes your car so you're safe on the road. Think about the man who sits through a TV show he doesn't care about just because it matters to you. Think about the man who introduces you to his family, not because he's ready to give a speech, but because he's ready to show everybody you're important. None of those things come with a caption, but all of them scream love. Sometimes love doesn't sound like, "I love you." Sometimes it sounds like, "Text me when you get home." Sometimes it sounds like, "Did you eat today?" Sometimes it sounds like, "I'll take care of it." That's a man speaking in his own language, louder than words. Ladies, you deserve both, words and actions. But if you ever have to choose which one to trust, look at what he does. Because love is not proven in the mouth, it's proven in the movement. Love is not just a statement, it's a sacrifice. Love is not just spoken, it's shown. And the louder he shows it, the less he needs to say it, because the truth is already written in the way he lives. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about a man. A man can give a lot of things to the world. He can give his strength, his hustle, his money, his talent, his laughter, even his charm. But there are 3 things a man does not just hand out casually: his time, his effort, and his peace. Those 3 things are sacred to him. They are his personal treasure, the core of who he is. And when a man decides to give those things to a woman, you better believe it's because she has touched him in a way no one else has. That's when you know you are his weakness. Time is the first and most obvious one. See, men are protective over time because time is the one thing you can't get back. We don't waste it, not if we're serious about life. So when a man keeps making time for you, no matter how packed his schedule is, no matter how busy work gets, no matter how many obligations he's juggling, that's a sign you mean something. You'll notice he'll rearrange things. He'll sacrifice sleep. He'll show up at the end of a long day just to be around you. He doesn't have to tell you you're important because he's already proving it with every hour he gives you. And it's not just about being physically present. It's about being mentally present too. You'll know you've got his time when he puts that phone down and gives you his full attention. When he listens to your stories, when he asks about your day, when he notices the small details, that's time well spent. He's saying, "I could be anywhere else, but I choose to be here with you." That's not just a date on a calendar. That's priority. Then comes effort. Effort is a man's investment. Anybody can say they care, but effort costs energy. Effort means he goes out of his way for you. He'll fix things, build things, run errands, drive miles just to see you, learn how to cook your favorite meal, or watch a show he doesn't even like just because you love it. That's effort. And here's the thing about men: we don't put effort into something unless we see value in it. If a man is pouring himself into making you happy, that's because you become his weakness. You've cracked through that tough exterior and gotten to his heart. Effort is also in the little things. It's him checking in on you throughout the day. It's him remembering the details you didn't even think he caught. It's him noticing when something's off with you and trying to lighten your mood. Effort doesn't have to be grand gestures. It's consistency. A man's love is measured not by what he does once, but by what he keeps doing. And when you're his weakness, he's not going to let up. He'll keep showing up because he doesn't want to risk losing you. And then the deepest one of all, peace. Men guard their peace like gold. Life is stressful. The world demands a lot from us, and peace is where we recharge. So when a man lets you into his peace, when he wants you around in his downtime, when he invites you into his quiet moments, That's not small. That's him saying, this is the part of me nobody else gets. That's intimacy beyond romance. That's him trusting you with the side of himself he doesn't show to just anybody. You'll see it in the way he can just sit next to you without having to talk. You'll see it in the way he relaxes in your presence, the way his guard drops, the way he becomes vulnerable. You'll know it when he calls you over just to chill. No plans, no big event, just you and him being. That means you're not just his love interest, you're his safe place. And when a man finds peace with a woman, that woman becomes irreplaceable to him. See, time, effort, and peace, those are not things men throw around lightly. We can spend money, we can joke with strangers, we can hang with friends, but time, effort, and peace, those are reserved for someone special. That's why when you see a man consistently giving you all three, you don't have to question where you stand. You don't have to beg for clarity. His actions already told you. You are his weakness. You're the one who has gotten past his defenses, the one who has access to the deepest parts of him. Some men will tell you they love you, but never show up. Some men will promise you the world, but won't put in the work. Some men will charm you in public, but keep their peace to themselves. But when a man is truly yours, when you're the one he can't deny, you'll have his most precious gifts. His hours will bend in your direction. His energy will pour into your happiness. And his peace, his quiet, sacred peace, will open up to let you in. That's not weakness in the sense of vulnerability. That's weakness in the sense of surrender. That's him saying, you've got me. I can't fight it. I choose you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break something down about men. You can fake a smile. You can fake charm, you can fake words, but there are certain things a man just cannot fake if he truly cares about you. When a man loves a woman, when she becomes his weakness, three things start showing up without him even realizing it: his protection, his presence, and his attention. Those three things are the truest proof of how he feels, because no man is going to keep giving them unless it's coming straight from his heart. Protection is the first one. And when I say protection, I don't just mean he's going to step in if somebody disrespects you. Of course, that's part of it. He's not going to let anybody come at you sideways. But protection is bigger than just physical. Protection is emotional. Protection is spiritual. Protection is mental. If he's with you, he wants you safe in every area of your life. He'll step in to shield you from stress if he can. He'll try to lighten your load. He'll warn you when he sees something you don't. And even when you don't notice it, he's out there making decisions with your well-being in mind. That's love. That's a man saying, I've got you, even if the words never leave his mouth. And here's the thing, protection is instinctive. A man doesn't have to sit down and plan it out. It just happens. He sees you tired. He wants to help. He sees somebody talking slick. He wants to step up. He sees life throwing curveballs at you. He's trying to figure out how to make it easier. He doesn't have to say, I'm protecting you. You'll feel it in the way he acts. That's not something you can fake. A man will not go out of his way to cover someone he doesn't value. But if you are his weakness, if you've got his heart, then you'll see it every single day in the way he tries to keep you safe. Then comes presence. Listen to me. Men value their space. We value our independence. We value being able to do what we want when we want, with nobody telling us otherwise. So when a man starts showing up, when he starts being present with you, when he chooses to spend his time in your world instead of just his own, that's major. Presence is powerful. A man doesn't have to be asked twice when he wants to be there. He doesn't make excuses. He doesn't disappear. He doesn't leave you wondering. If you matter to him, you'll know it because he'll be there. Presence isn't just about dates and dinners. Presence is about consistency. It's about him showing up when you need him most. Not just when it's convenient. It's about him standing by you when things are good and when they're rough. It's about him being next to you, even in silence, because he knows his presence brings you comfort. And let me tell you something. A man cannot fake presence for long. He might show up for a moment to impress you, but if his heart's not in it, you'll feel the inconsistency. Real presence doesn't flicker. Real presence is steady. When you've got that man showing up again and again, that's love speaking without words. And then there's attention. Now, ladies, you already know this one right here is rare because men, we're not the greatest at multitasking. We get locked into one thing and the rest of the world just fades away. But when a man gives you his attention, real attention, that's special. He's tuned into you. He's noticing the details. He's remembering the little things you say in passing. He's picking up on the way you feel, even when you don't spell it out. Attention is one of the strongest signals of love because men don't waste it. If he's giving you his focus, it's because you've captured his heart. And attention shows up in ways that aren't always flashy. It's him texting to check on you during the day. It's him asking about that project you mentioned 2 weeks ago. It's him noticing when your mood shifts, even when you try to hide it. It's him adjusting plans to make you more comfortable because he was paying attention when you said what you like and what you don't. Attention is not in the big speeches. It's in the little actions that prove he's been listening, he's been watching, he's been caring. See, protection, presence, and attention are not things a man can keep up if his heart's not in it. He can buy gifts, he can say the right words, he can put on a show for a little while. But protection takes instinct, presence takes sacrifice, and attention takes genuine care. That's why those three are the proof. You don't need to guess how a man feels about you if you see them. If he protects you without hesitation, if he shows up without excuses, if he pays attention without being asked, then you don't have to question where you stand. That man has already told you everything you need to know without even opening his mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the hardest things for a man to do is to take off the mask. Every man you meet walks around with a mask on. That mask is strength, confidence, toughness, control. It's the image we put out into the world so nobody thinks we're weak, so nobody takes advantage of us. See, society teaches men early on to hide vulnerability. You grow up hearing things like, don't cry, man up, be tough. And after years of that, a man becomes skilled at hiding his emotions, hiding his fears, hiding his true self. That's why when a man finally lets a woman see past that mask, it's not small. It's the biggest sign of love you could ever get. If he lets you see his real self, you've already won his heart. Because men don't risk that with just anybody. Think about it. Out in the world, he's got to be strong. At work, he's got to perform. With his friends, he's got to joke, compete, and keep up. With his family, he's got to provide. Everywhere he goes, he's carrying the weight of expectation. But when he's with you, if he feels safe enough to lay that down, to let you see the parts of him that nobody else sees, that's love. That's trust. That's him saying, you're the one place I can be me. You'll notice it in the little cracks first. He'll start telling you about things that frustrate him. He'll share stories from his childhood, not just the good ones, but the painful ones. He'll open up about his dreams, even the ones he's scared might not come true. He'll show you when he's tired, when he's stressed, when he doesn't have all the answers. And that right there is proof you've touched his heart. Because men are trained to never let anybody see them unsure, to never let anybody see them scared. If he's showing that to you, it's because you've reached a level no one else has. Another way you'll see his real self is in how playful he becomes. Men don't play around everyone. We joke, sure, but real playfulness, that silly, boyish side, that only comes out when we feel comfortable. If he's laughing around you in a way you know he doesn't with anybody else, if he's goofy, if he's letting that guard down, that's his soul saying, I'm safe here. And believe me, men don't hand out safety lightly. When a man loves you, he'll even share his weaknesses. That's the part most men keep buried. We don't want to talk about what hurts us, what scares us, or what keeps us up at night. But if he sits there and tells you, this is what I've been through, this is where I failed, this is what I'm afraid of, that's not weakness at all. That's courage. And it's a kind of courage he only has because of you. Because you made him feel like he won't be judged. You made him feel like he'll still be respected, still be valued, even after he reveals the cracks in his armor. And understand this, if you've seen his real self, you've seen the part of him that even his closest friends might not know. His boys might know his victories, his money, his style, his outer layer. But you've been invited into his soul. That means he's chosen you as more than a partner. He's chosen you as a confidant, a sanctuary, a safe haven. It's not easy for a man to be that open. It's scary. It feels like standing without a shield. But when you've won his heart, he'll risk it because the comfort of being known by you outweighs the fear of being exposed. And when you get there, when you see him unfiltered, when you see the man behind the mask, you'll know without a doubt he's yours.